What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video on the SketchUp Kyle channel. If you're watching this one, we just designed the 2D kitchen floor plans. If you guys want to check out that video, I'll probably link it below as well. But in this video, we're going to be looking at pulling up the 2D plan and making some 3D decisions here. I'm actually going to pull up my screen share here. And so this is the SketchUp plan here. This is the existing kitchen plan on the far right, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4 new kitchen designs that we did in the previous video. So with that being said, let's I just want to show you guys how I kind of begin to pull up some stuff into 3D here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this all kind of as a 2D plan. I'm going to just make that a group, and then I'm going to just copy and paste it. And now I'm going to go into the group, and let's just start kind of chopping off everything that's not a cabinet. So I'm just kind of deleting the floor plan pieces, and we're getting rid of all the walls, and we're just going to basically just have our cabinets. And then from here, I'll show you guys how I like to pull my walls up. So here, what I'm going to do is I have the outer bank of cabinets, the perimeter cabinets, and then we have the island. I'm just going to separate these so that they're separate. So like that's my island. Let me go ahead and erase those doors, and then now we can have some fun. So from here, what I'm going to do is, and again, so keep in mind, I'm not going to be going too crazy with the 3D. This is more visual, I think, for the client. They just need to see the spatial, layout of things. So for me, what I'm going to do now is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start with like the tall cabinets, like the pantry cabinet. That's going to go floor to ceiling. So we have an 8-foot ceiling. I'm just going to type in 8 and get that to the ceiling. Let's go ahead and get the fridge to the ceiling as well. I'm going to kind of just eliminate that line because that's where the fridge sticks out. And then from here, I'm just going to poke in the fridge cabinet. So the fridge cabinet is usually 6 foot tall. Within that range, anywhere from 70 to 73 inches usually. So I'm going to push that space back in there, and that's where our fridge would slide into. I'm going to erase the lines on the top there. And then from here, I'm just going to pull up everything else at 36 inches because these are base cabinets. So we're just going to go boom, and I'm just kind of double clicking into all these things. That's where our range would go here. I'm gonna just pull that back down, and we'll find when it comes time to it, we're gonna just insert a range into that spot. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to fill out everything at 36 inches. And now you're starting to see our 3D shape take form, which is pretty cool. And then you see these items on the top of the countertop here. These are the upper cabinets. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag my uppers all the way up and get that to the 8-foot line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to draw with my pencil tool 18 inches up. I'm just going to make my lines here, and that's going to be where we cut off everything here. And now you'll see the upper cabinet. So I'm just using the push-pull tool. We're just going to pull that back. We'll erase those lines later, I suppose. But I'm just basically just getting these to look like upper cabinets now. And from here, I can kind of go in, just erase those stupid lines there. And then we did identify that, I guess we did call that an upper in this one. So let me see what we got here. So we have an upper there. And then I'm just going to kind of just start erasing some of these dumb lines, I think. Yeah, let's get rid of some of these just dumb lines on the top because that's where our countertop would be. That's usually, a smoother, just a smooth surface on the top. And that's kind of, that's pretty much the vibe of this whole kitchen in terms of a spatial layout. And from there, what I'm going to do now is, okay, so we have the perimeter bank of cabinets drawn. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of group all of this together as one. Oh, almost forgot that one. Okay, there we go. So we're just pulling this up into 3D. We just landed this guy over here. And that's, sitting basically on top of our plan now. And you can kind of begin to see how that feels, which is very helpful. I guess we'll do the island really quick here, and I'll show you guys how I like to do the island. Again, so everything's at 36-inch height for this island. We're just going to go ahead and just start pulling everything up at 36 inches here. No problemo. And let's go ahead and just pull that guy up there too. And what I'm going to do now is I'm gonna copy, because this is the overhang part. I'm going to copy the overhang, and we'll put that on the bottom here. And from this point, now I can push pull that guy up. And usually you want your countertop to be 1.5 inches to 1.25 inches thickness. So I'm going to pull this thing up 34 3/4 inches so that there's a difference there. And then that's it. That is I mean, again, I'm just kind of doing this as a volumetric type thing. I'm going to go ahead and erase everything. I think it'll be helpful to leave the sink in there. But again, these are just kind of, we're trying to just get the idea of what it would feel like in 3D here. I'm not trying to get too crazy here. And again, if you watch the 2D plan video, I have a client that I'm drawing this for, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself where I spend 4 or 5 hours on this kitchen just for it to be kind of blown up and then not gonna like it and stuff. So I'm kind of just trying to find ways to show them really quick ideas. 3D ideas are especially on SketchUp, you know how easy these things are to make. So here, just in a matter, I guess since this video started, we have what is essentially the kitchen. And from this point, I can go. So you can go to the 3D warehouse and start loading these kind of things in. What I'm going to do though is I have a library that I have created, and I don't know why it is not loading. Let me see. There we go. We'll go into SketchUp. We'll go into SketchUp Warehouse. So I have a layout, or I have a folder that has all of this stuff in there for me already. Some of my favorite ones that I've used before. So I'm just going to throw in a one of my two-door fridges here, and let's go ahead and put this guy. Just put him back there. That's where he goes, and then we'll just kind of pull him out a little bit, just so his doors stick out. So that is our two-door fridge, and let me go ahead and throw in a range. Viking range, wolf range. That's a big wolf range. I'm gonna go ahead and just put in a 36-inch wolf here. And again, this is just beginning to help the client feel and understand things. Um, just spatially, if they can, if it makes sense to them, that's kind of what we're doing. I don't want to get too far with the cabinets and laying out cabinet doors and all that good stuff. So for now, I think just seeing the appliances in their real life spots is very helpful. And I think from that point, you kind of get it. You kind of get the idea of the kitchen. I think the next biggest thing to help a client really see what's going on here would be to pull up the walls. And if you remember before, I kind of copied and pasted this, and then we took everything, like we did the deleting thing where we just deleted everything but the cabinets. Well, now I'm going to do the inverse. I'm deleting everything but the walls, and I'm going to make my now I'm going to make quickly make my walls for you guys, and I'll kind of just show you how I go about landing, making it, giving everything that we just did. We want the walls to now be the backdrop for it. So this will just be a second, and now I'm going to just erase my window lines real quick, and then we'll pull this up for you guys, and we'll show you what it's going to look like. And so I know I have four of these plans to kind of mimic. I don't know if I'm going to make all four of them for the client, but what's cool is like the window layout. Like once I do this, I can just copy and paste that. So I'm just pulling up everything to that 8 foot height, and I'm not going to do the full thing quite yet. I think I'm just going to kind of do. I'll come back and do this later. I'm not going to do it on the video. I just kind of wanted to show how to do that and how I would go about doing that. So I'm going to drag this. Now we're going to locate the walls in there, and I'll show you guys what this is starting to look like. All right, so this would be what I would want to show the client now is you can see the walls. I think from this point, I would come in and start to make my windows. So I'm going to just draw, I think all my windows are at 80 inches in height. And personally, I would go look and double check my measurements and make sure I'm drawing these windows all at the correct heights. But for just the video purpose right now, I'm just kind of throwing in random window openings just to kind of show you guys quickly what this could potentially look like and just make it look a little bit more like it would be. So let's go ahead and get all that in there, and then I'm going to use the offset tool. And what's cool about offset tool is like it's great for window casings, and I'm just offsetting everything about 2.5 inches there for the window casing. So let me pop back my stuff back in there, and now all of a sudden now it's starting to look like a kitchen, right? So I could, from here at this point now, I can begin to, carve out doors and put windows and stuff in there and put some tile materials and things like that. I think, from a perspective though, this is something that could definitely help a client because it's kind of all about the feeling of things. So from this point, I guess what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and kind of, I'll show you. So from this point now, I can just kind of, we can just pop this guy in there, pop him over here. And I would make this a component so that it all edits together. But now I can just kind of do the same thing that we did before. So that was how I made one of them. I'm going to go ahead and make the rest of them. But this was just a quick video I wanted to show you guys on how to kind of do 3D, quick, really quick 3D. What's the word I'm looking for? This is 3D model massing essentially. So I just masked a kitchen here. If I wanted to get into some of the fun stuff, we could start getting into some of the textures. And maybe I even do that for the client in this one. I'm going to go to my library and we'll throw in, let's look for a cool tile texture. Let's just go ahead with this. I like this kind of this blue granite. Let me go ahead and select that and just going to throw that on here and maybe even get to the perimeter cabinets with some cool countertop. And let me just draw again. I said the countertop. I like to draw my countertop thicknesses at 1.25 inches. That's just usually the smallest you're going to want to see a countertop thickness, and especially for a kitchen. And we'll kind of just get this in there and make it, give it that edge thickness that it needs to really pop out there. So from this point now, we can really start to have some fun with the SketchUp model and start bringing things to life. I'll probably throw some doors on some of these. Maybe again, because I have three or four of these models that I want to make yet. But for the most part, I think that you show a client that gives them an idea of where we can get things started. So with that said, I think that's where I'm going to end this video for today. Like and subscribe if you guys are new. If you have any questions, fire them up below for sure. If you need to see anything specific or need any help with anything, any tips, whatever you need, that's what I'm here for. I just want to say thank you for watching. Again, subscribe if you are new, and we will see you in a future video. Peace.